from me. That sounds a bit sus. Let me see if everything's working. Testing microphone 1, 2. Testing microphone 1, 2. Wow, that's a bit of latency. Oh, I'm set on low latency. Wonderful. It's going to be a little bit rough on the text-to-speech speed, I guess. Okay. At least it's working. Working hard or hardly working? Hurrah. Just make sure that we place things in various windows. That is correct. And let's see if the face cam is working. Just scroll down to see all the various different things. To say hello, folks. It's me, I'm Bigot, I'm back. We're live. I am shaven. So my head is nice and shiny. Woot. Just in time for the new year. And yeah, we're doing a little bit of a last bit of world building for the year before doing a little bit of Rogue Trader afterwards. I'm very tempted to open up Unlimited Saga just so that we could say we're playing Unlimited Saga, but I think that's a bit gypped and not fair. We could summon the Smithing Myth, or whatever his name is right now, to the stream as soon as we have any mentions of Unlimited Saga. But to be fair, this is I'm going to try to present the Unlimited Saga inspired tabletop for a little bit, but we're waiting until more people show up on the stream. So yeah, I'm not sure if I have anything particular to say about this year. This year's been rough, I'll say. I've been trying here and there to find an audience and find a place for me in the streaming environment, and finding a job, finding work, trying to monetize, having different ideas, getting distracted, going on ADHD tangents, starting a novel, got inspired to do various different things, and not following through on some of them. Well, following through on some of them. Writing is certainly I've bit a little bit more than I can chew off, a little bit more than I could chew with the writing stuff, but certainly it's just a matter of going back to doing that. Hopefully I'll be able to do that a bit more. Got off on a new inspiring thing to do over the next few over the course of the last few months. And as the year's ending, I do feel like there's so much more that I could do from now, but it does feel like I am unsure whether if what this is going to I've how do I say this? I've run out of time to be how do I say this? I've run out of time to just dawdle, you know. It's something I need to be more immediate about. And for me, I have this inkling feeling that I have a lot of things I wanted to be to do, but I'm not being able to do it at the speed that I need to do it at. I feel like it feels like that. It does feel like that, and I feel like AI has helped me a little bit in coming up and speeding up the things that I wasn't able to do by myself in my current state. And yeah, it is a little bit of a ramp. But to be fair, I think my biggest hurdle so far is sticking to a project that I wanted to do. So it's all that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just ranting at the starting of this, but it is the new year, and there's a lot of things. Oh, it is not a new year yet, but it's the end of the year, and there's a reflection of what I wanted to do, or what I've done or what I haven't done. I mean, if I look back, then there's so much stuff that I tried doing. I tried doing a little bit of Tokimeki related stuff, did the translation stuff, but yeah, it hasn't really stuck, has it? But well, this year came the I mean, I could look back at all my videos this year. This marks my, how many years have I been on YouTube? 16? Yikes. 16 years on YouTube? Yeah. Let me look at the channel dashboard real quick. I'm looking at the content of my content throughout the year, or the analytics for the year. Wow. Got a bit more. Let's go ahead and look at the last 365 days of my channel. And we have, okay, 21% less than the previous 365 days of views, but the watch time is up, and the subscriber count is a little bit less. But yep, we don't have much in terms of published videos before the YouTube update. Most of the views are from my long form videos. Seriously, my bot meter test is like 1,000 odd views. I also got a bunch of views from the Marvel trading card game. Oh, there's also, we have 1,000 views from the Tokimeki Memorial 2 long form. It's pretty nice as well. But yeah, it definitely is just, I mean, I could go back to Unlimited Sagas always, because that's, even from 2009, I'm still getting 808 views from that. It is just the top content of my channel, isn't it? Wow. Okay. Why dating sims disappear? Yep. So I need to pivot into, if I'm going to continue any long form content, then it is just a pivot into games translation stuff. If I'm looking at the channel analytics so far. As well as back into, yeah, all that good stuff. All right, and if I had the money, then I'd hire an editor to clip all my live stream things. Right? Oh, there's a bunch of you here. 62k viewers, which is less than last year. 21% less than the last previous 365 days. My goodness. Yeah. My peak was back in 2013. Oh well. But What was my peak back then? Oh well, let's just not worry about that. But the year in review means that I've been the content that got me the most views are translation related stuff. So yeah, maybe we'll pivot into that next year. But yeah, that's all there is right now. All right, let's just thank our members. But okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm just thanking my members first. Apilux, Manta, Ruffle Vega Chapa, I'm Islam, Chris Burton, and Lord Yelanak. Thank you for being members at the time of streaming, getting to watch vids early, and getting some cool badges and emojis for whenever you comment. And yeah, that's going to be and if you want to watch my videos early, don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed. No, you could join the membership okay. You know what? I am out of it right now. Let me just do a little bit of breathing and go back and thank my members properly once again. So let's go thank our members: Apilux, Manta, Rafael Vega Chapa, I'm Islam, Chris Burton, Lord Yelanak. Pardon me. Thank you for being members and or subscribers on Twitch at the time of streaming. Get turned into a Pokemon, amongst other perks. And you could like the video if you enjoy, subscribe if you want to see more. Click on the bell to get notified for when I go live, etc. And with that, I'm just going to go straight into my game dev things. Yep. And see if things are working. Yeah. Okay. You know what I'm going to do? Since nobody's here yet, I'll try recording and see if things are going okay. I'll turn off the ad timer so that you guys can see. I mean, ad timers mean absolutely nothing nowadays, right? Because Twitch just randomly serves ads for people anyways, despite whether if I have the ad timer on or not. Yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to briefly let's try to start the recording and see if things are going to work out. So I'll go to my face cam to say hi first. Yep. No, well, actually, you know what? I'm just gonna let's start. We're doing it live. We're doing it live. Okay. So hello, folks. It's me. I'm Biggie. I'm back. And what we have here is a little bit of a side project of mine, sideways ADHD tangent project of mine, and this came about as the start of. So if I wanted to go even back further and talk about the source of this thing or this project, is that back in 2021, there's been interviews with Kawazu, and he's saying that there's going to be a remake, another game, Unlimited Sagas on the list of things he wants to remake, right? And basically, since then, we've got Romancing Saga 2, I think, remade. We have Saga Frontier 2 remade, which is that game's decent. I've played a little bit of it, but there's just so much more. Unlimited Saga has been mentioned, but nothing's been done about it ever since. Emerald Beyond's been mentioned, but nothing's been done of it since. And so basically, back then I was like, you know what, let's just make our own game. And after that, I just say that jokingly. But even after all those years, yeah, I have no idea what I was mentioning. But there's a couple of things I tried to want to add, things I wanted to fix. And what happened, I think, even though I'm not capable enough, I mean physically, and I don't have enough knowledge either to create my own game, I decided that, hey, well, how about we go tabletop? Because if you didn't know something about me, back in the day I used to run a board game cafe, and the idea of creating my own tabletop stuff isn't new. So I've been tinkering with that kind of stuff for a while. So I thought, hey, you know what? If we come up with our own tabletop system, that might be interesting. But of course, everybody just wants to play D&D, right? Or any forms of changes of D&D. So I don't know how successful this is going to be.
เดี๋ยวไปตามภาพแป๊บนึงนะคะเดี๋ยวพี่ป๊อปอยู่ตรงนี้ถ้าสำนักอะไรเดี๋ยวหนูตั้งนำ
Okay. Right. Anyways, with that being said, yeah, this is the idea of how this came about. Basically, I wanted to create a TTRPG or an RPG of any kind of sort. Yeah, that is inspired, quote unquote, by Unlimited Saga and all of the things that I love the most about gaming. And I basically, oh, damn it. Hi, Smiling Pluvius. Thanks for raiding, buddy, with a party of one.
Smilin 84 red, Smilin 84 red, Smilin 84 red.
Last stream of the year.
Hey Biggie, haha, tiny red.
Yep. Thanks for the tiny little raid. Okay. So, yeah. Anyways, I was in the middle of doing a quote-unquote reveal of my tabletop game that I've come up with, kind of. So yeah, thanks for the raid and thanks for being here. And hopefully we'll do a little bit of this. This tabletop is very, very inspired by Unlimited Saga. But that's not the only source of inspiration I drew from. I have Unlimited Saga as an inspiration. I have... I love Arcanum. This has become somewhat a little bit of a XCOM roguelike flavor to it as well. And basically this is a tabletop RPG with very, very strong board game elements that I'm trying to make standalone to be able to for people who aren't into tabletop RPGs that could enjoy the gameplay aspect of it. So it's very ambitious, but it's nowhere near as ambitious as, say, creating my own video game from scratch. But yeah, how this came about is that Unlimited Saga has been kind of not working out for me. Yeah, Unlimited Saga is well, not working out. Let me just rephrase that. Man, I need a little bit more coffee, don't I? But I've had my bit of coffee already. But yeah, Unlimited Saga. I'm going off on a tangent. Has not presented itself with a sequel or a remake or a remaster of any sort from Kawazu. So I said, let's do it. We're doing it ourselves. Right? That's where this came from. And after tinkering here and there and doing a bit of world building and doing a bit of novel writing on the tangent, this finally came back and came about. Yeah. So feel free to ask questions and stuff. But yeah, thanks for being here, Smile Oblivious. This is the last stream of the year. Right. Okay. So that being said, this is my tabletop RPG, inspired heavily by Unlimited Saga amongst many, many other inspirations. And then I don't know if we're going to cross over from inspiration into it's just the mechanics that I was inspired by, a little bit of the world building, but mostly the mechanics. So hopefully we're safe in that front. But so we're introducing Gravitas, right? Gravitas of Fates and Fortunes. What a board game title, right? And there's a whole flavor to it. And Unlimited Saga is very much a fantasy post-apocalyptic world. If you know anything about the lore of Unlimited Saga, and the idea that heroes have already come and gone, an apocalypse has already come and gone. There's this the Unlimited Saga has the Age Without God thing. Basically, it's like a project. It's kind of apt because it feels like a project being left behind by a creator, right? And this is another bit of world building from here. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. But okay, fine. We talked too much about the title. We talked just about the title for too much. Let's go ahead and see what this is. So what is Gravitas then? So Gravitas of Fates and Fortunes is a steampunk TTRPG. Yeah, but of course, I know steampunk. Everybody goes steampunk, but there's a reason that I go for steampunk as an aesthetic here, right? They're basically power, personality, social credit built on the same thing. So you're built your character from a 7-slot board of the colored coins. Uses both combat engine and currency. So that's the hook. Unlimited Saga also has this hook that it's an RPG that doesn't have XP. So I wanted to create a tabletop or tabletop role-playing system that doesn't use XP. And the most tangible thing that I could think of are coins, right? So track things with coins. That's the gist of this game. Okay. So here are the basics. There's a hex board and coins in the bank. We'll need to do a more thorough condensation of what this game is for, like all the terms and stuff later, which we'll put in an appendix. But here's the basics. So we have a hex board. It is lined up slightly differently from the Unlimited Saga hex board. The Unlimited Saga hex board tilted this by another 30 degrees. So there's the top left, top right, middle left, middle right, bottom left, bottom right, right? But of course we have a board like this, tilted slightly, and it's still just tilting this way, I'll let you know now, has significantly changed the way data is obtained from this, right? So the characters are built on a 7-tile hex board. Each hex board holds a colored coin. 7 different colors grant varying stats as well as skills. So the game has no XP. It has no levels. Basically, you collect coins. More coins equals more stats. And not having to keep track of XP is kind of nice. But unfortunately, there's a certain advantage and disadvantage of this. The advantage of not keeping track of XP on a character sheet. On a character sheet, you have pencil and eraser, right? So, and you store the character sheet either with you or the DM has it. The DM probably has it, right? And you don't need to. You could basically save it on the paper. In this instance, the downside of using coins is that you can't save it on paper. You need a little bit of help. Maybe a camera, take a picture of your board, that kind of stuff. Or keep your coins stacked in the bag, right? For each player. Okay. So that's one way. But yeah, the game consists of 7 different types of coins. Each coin is a currency with different stat boosts and skills. A color of a coin is what you're good at and how you solve your problems. And the coins get arranged, used, and wagered during gameplay. So all of these will get used. But mostly it's just an arrangement. And I think we're going to remove used here. Because, yeah, used is fine because used refers to the fact that you use these coins to buy stuff from the market sometimes. So here's the goal of the game. For every time you start a game or you start a new campaign, there's a pile of coins, right? It's the pile of coins that we get as a reward. So the tougher the mission, the better the payout. So you go to you start off with a huge pile of coins in the middle. Well, yeah, that's what she said, but size is relative. But the catch is everything costs you money. All your gear, getting hit will cost medical bills, and then you have bribes, you have tolls. You don't know when and how this bag of coins is going to be used. right? In other words, this stack of coins is actually money on loan from the bank. You don't have it yet. It's a reward that you get to cash in at the end of a mission loop. So everybody starts off owing the bank some money, and all the payments will be due at the end of this. In other words, this is your not so much as a reward, but your ticket out of debt with the bank. In other words, this is your HP. This is your party's HP. If you run out of this, then it's game over. Like it starts off looking like this is a reward, but through gameplay you realize that this is your lifeline of staying alive in the game. And you could do things like wagering, which moves 1 coin from your own personal hex into the stakes, right? I think we call this what's at stake. So that's the bit of a flavor choice there. You move 1 coin from your hex board into the stakes, and you get an immediate effect, which counts as part of our reward pool. So we could just pay into here from our personal pool, basically making ourselves weaker temporarily. I mean, you're missing your coin for your personal board, so you lower your stats and lower your gaming options by a significant amount. But of course, this is still your reward, so you could claim it at the bank. But the bank, whenever you enter the bank, you always pay a fee, meaning the fees that you need to pay to reclaim this, or get a chance to reclaiming this, will be random. Right? So with a random fee, you don't know if the coin that you tossed into the pile is going to get back or not. Not for sure, anyways. So you could see that the basic game loop starts with choosing a mission. Then you go build your character. After you build your character, you lock the panels, and then you go to the market to buy stuff. Missions, you go to the mission, and you always go for a check whether if your bank fee will be better than the pot. I'm not sure if this is legible or not. It's a little bit small. That's what she said. But you go to the mission, you go explore, you go to combat. Then all this bank, as long as you are fine with the bank fee, you could, as long as you don't have money, and as long as you have money in the pot, that's the excess of a bank fee, you would be able to return to the bank and cash in your reward. And I do believe that the game's got to be balanced in such a way that in the beginning, the game's going to be balanced in such a way that you get to cash in your reward with a little bit to spare, not a lot. So the beginning of the character growth will be slow unless you take on a mission that's a little bit harder than usual. Visits will cost a bank fee, and after respecking, your board will be locked into your next bank visit. So basically, in this section is the only time you could actually rebuild your character or respec. As long as you're in the bank, you could respec. But as soon as you leave the bank, the bank is your safe space, right? Get it? The outside world, you can't respect your character, and you need to start paying money out of your own pocket, or just ask the bank to help you pay for it for whenever you go to the market, right? So everything's on loan, and the coin looks kind of tangible, but what is actually being exchanged here are similar to what's called promissory notes, right? Or bank notes. So everything is, even though it's coins, everything is very much a symbolic in that way, that it is more promissory notes than coins. But if you can't pay what the bank demands, so you become bankrupt, or even worse, you become the bounty. So this is a bit of the TTRPG that I kind of like, and it probably works as a gameplay mechanic in a game as well. Imagine a game with levels of difficulties of XCOM, right? And characters don't just become dead, they become bounties. And what does that mean? It means that in future missions, if you kept the character sheet, they show up as an NPC that you need to hunt. And I feel that is a interesting system. Yeah, I wonder what you guys think about this, right? Imagine a game that is like XCOM, and then you go this is just a random game idea, or game system idea, where whenever you lose, your characters or your character becomes an NPC, and it goes out into the void, and you claim them later as bounty. So you get all the coins that they have back, as well as far as you pay the bank some fee. So I guess that's interesting concept. And if it's going to be, for example, like multiplayer, you could submit characters into the game, or somehow submit characters into a portal of pages or whatever, and then you...
Hello, my goals for 2026 is better at drawing skills and finish my backlog game is a lot games by this year, and damn you Steam winter sale and building Gunpla model kits for 2026.
That is exactly how I would phrase how I'm feeling right now. Zenless Gotcha Zero. ZGC. Hello. Better at drawing skills is fine. But yeah, I'm not able to get a little bit better from drawing skills for me anyways. But I could make that a bit of a goal. But yes, better drawing skills. Backlog of gaming is always a challenge to try to finish, isn't it? And of course, the way Steam just said, just say give you a bunch of games. It is endless, isn't this? The amount of experiences we get to do in life. But yeah, that being said, I'm already very old, so I have no idea if things are gonna go okay or not. And if you are wondering what we're doing right now, I'm talking about a game that I'm creating. It's tabletop though, it's not video game. So board game, there we go. That should be sufficient context. So we're talking about a board game that I got inspired by. And if you didn't know about my channel, back in the day I used to play a game called Unlimited Saga, and that game got me very, very into unconventional RPGs. So this was back in 2009. So when I started the channel, that's the source of my channel, actually, playing Unlimited Saga. And everything's just been chasing that high ever since. Anyways, so let's go talk about character creation. So we've got the coin names. I wonder if Manta's going to show up here later or not, because I'll need to do a bit of a tangent back to the various different coins here. So basically, the different coins have different flavors. We have the Nixportian Cordes, which is a currency of soldiers and mercenaries. We have Shuren Yan, currency tied to libraries, universities, and primal fates. We have the Gammasari ID, which is a currency of medicine and the underworld. We have the Anza, which is the most volatile currency right now. And next up is the Ta'an, which is a currency of industry, craftsmen, and engineers, and the largest bank. So the golden one is the bank-sanctioned one. We have the Jelai and Paris, which is the blue currency of sailors and guides and smugglers. And we have the Wirokochin Rapra, which is a currency of messengers. So you collect all these coins, and you use them to build your character. And as you can see here, coins have different weight. So every coin has 2 numbers, abilities, and elements. The higher ability is a strong doer stat. Higher element is a stronger elemental identity. Coins range from 5.0 to 0.5, as you can see here. The red coin has the highest ability stat. And the blue coin has the highest elemental stat. All the way through, all the colors. So your board converts those numbers into 6 abilities and 6 elements. Just looking through all of this. And if you are looking at a way to try to label all of these hexes on the 7 tiles, the simplest way to label these tiles is top, upper left, upper right, center, lower left, lower right, and bottom.
Cool,
I know.
I like tabletop games is nice. 2009 is man amazing. When time passed, I miss 2009. That year have amazing cartoon and anime. I remember playing TCG Battle Spirit. I have a deck since kids, now is gone.
Man, a man of culture. What are some good animes from 2009? I'm gonna stop the recording for a little bit and go off on an ADHD tangent. Let's see. Not animal year, is anime. (2009) in anime. Okay. Oh, wow. It is the friggin... Yeah, it is friggin' year of the anime. It's Brotherhood, the year the Brotherhood came out. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. And oh wow, on the other side there's Keion and the friggin' gooning that is Bakemonogatari. Dragon Ball Z Kai. Nah. Evangelion 2.0 is pretty cool. Certain Scientific Railgun. Yeah. But yeah, Keion. It is the year of Keion. So, yep. Okay, that's a wonderful little tangent to go on. Anyways, where was I? Oh yes. Let me just continue recording. Go here. But okay, so this is character creation. We have 12 stats around the hex board, and the best way for me to label these stats are using clock numbers. So that's the easiest way. And we have for this board, we have the top, upper left, upper right, center, lower left, lower right, and bottom. And I know having top and bottom is kind of sus in language, but that's fine. Yep. Is your character and then just people going tee hee when you say is your character a top or a bottom. But okay, so oh man, this is just so sus, because I realize now that if your character is a top character, you have high strength, and you have if you're a bottom character, you have high constitution. I have inadvertently created the most sus terminology already. My goodness, I didn't even realize that. But okay, so we have physical abilities in the strength and constitution. We have the magical abilities in the devotion and resilience, and we have attack abilities in the intuition and aptitude. So yeah, basically all these stats are placed circularly around the board. And the ability value of the coin is the A value in the coin slot. So basically, if we head all the way back here, We have the A value right now, the ability value. So 6 abilities on 6 different numbers. An example, a black coin, which is A plus 4, in the top slot, right here, gives plus 4 to strength because that's the stat. And all these things could be modified further by bonuses. And we'll talk about bonuses a little bit later. On the other side are the elements in the odd slot. So 6 elements on the odd numbers used to calculate magic, tech, and damage. Magic and tech damage. So the magical elements are here, which is fire,
2010
wood.
also amazing year because that's the era of Beyblade metal anime is peak. Many children collect Beyblade. Me, I got my first Beyblade is Pegasus and El Drago now since moving house is gone.
Oh man. So sad. No, there's different phases of that. There's like losing bits of your collection from childhood and not having that, but also the idea that you're losing that the memory's one thing. The worst is nobody told me that all these gaming relics would become collectibles. Man, if I knew. Okay, anyway, and yeah. So let's look at the fire. There we have fire, wood, earth, and water. These are the magical elements. And the technological elements are metal and lightning, right here. So this is the technologia elements. And by situating things this way, it really does have a what's the word? It does have a way of making the game balance towards which element does what. Because if you look at over here, strength character, strength and fire, these colors are closest to each other. So it is going to be really rough to take advantage of the elemental stats over here. Whereas the magical characters, the devotion to this line, devotion to resilience, is very far away from the elements. So water and wood is here. So it's going to be easier and simpler to make characters that uses those stats and still be able to fully commit into their elements over here. And for technology, these they're somewhat in between. Like the intelligence and lightning is on the opposite side of the scale completely. But for us to get a line combo like so, or put investment into this, same here, putting an investment into here, or putting investment into here, it is the complete opposite location. So it's going to be rough to try to make an intelligence or you need to have a more balanced approach for a technological character. And to calculate the elements, each element is an average of the E values from its two adjacent panels, rounded up. So for example, if you have a bull coin,
trust me, if you
5.
buy Pegasus and El Drago now is expensive and is hard to buy. Nostalgia for childhood because they cost expensive is sad. Since a child I am winning every time vs neighborhood with Beyblade.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it is there's a certain bittersweetness when you're trying to chase that flavor of nostalgia, and it doesn't exist anymore, or it still exists but it's expensive, and that's why people be able to monetize nostalgia so much. But nowadays, monetizing nostalgia is profitable, but not nearly as profitable as monetizing FOMO. FOMO is the essence of free-to-play, isn't it? Anyways, right? So let's talk about elements anyways. Average of the E values from these two adjacent panels are rounded up. So for example, if you place a blue coin, E plus 5 in the top half, it gets half of 5 to water, whereas a yellow coin gives half of 2 to water, and then the water stat now becomes 2 plus 5 and half, which is 3.5, and you round it up to 4. So this is 4 water. So that's how you calculate elements. And elements will be basically the equivalent of how much damage you'll do, either it's from magic or from technology.
I'm blaming the scalpers for stealing people nostalgia.
True. But scalpers have always been here from the olden days. The only difference between today and back in the day is that people are able to do all of this more and more online without remorse, and it's super profitable. I think Pokemon is going through that right now. The thing about Pokemon and scalping is that Pokemon is one of the only few series that can recognize both nostalgia and FOMO. And that's why it's so expensive. And that's why it's so profitable to scalp. Right? And there's this sense of, hey, we're just... that's a lethal combination right there. But anyways, like we're always going off on a tangent. So let's talk about stacking. Stacking is a method to add more stats to it's one of the bonus. Well, I wouldn't call it a bonus, but stacking is a way of adding more stats to a certain stat or certain element. Each slot can hold up to a stack of 3 coins. So this here has 4 stacks, so no. This here has a mixed stat, so no. It must be all of the same color. And the total supply cap is max 7 coins per color on the whole board, right? So you could have a total of 7 coins across as many hexes as you want. But that being said, a stack increases the coins provided stat. So I haven't done this animated yet. That's going to be in the future. So +1. So if you have a stack of 3 red, it provides +7 ability and +2 elements. So you place it on the top. This doesn't provide 5 strength anymore. It provides 7 strength and +1 each to water and fire, because half of its stat gets placed there. So start off with its 5 strength, 0 water, fire. Then its second coin comes down, it becomes 6 strength and 1 each to water and fire. And place 1 more, it becomes 7 strength and +1 each to water and fire. So it becomes stacking. Once you stack, each of these will the stat provision will be a little stronger, and it's always useful to stack. But there's also other things about stacking as well that we'll talk about. But first off, let's talk about the bonuses. So everything up to this point is our calculations that are the base calculations. Then you have the rest of it will come from bonuses, which are added after coin calculations. And there are 3 types of bonuses, which are the center coin bonus, the combo bonus, and the background bonus. Right. So the center coin bonus is +1 to either all abilities or elements, depending on the coin. So if you place a red coin here, then you get +1 to all abilities. If you place a it's red, black, or yellow coin, gets +1 to abilities, and purple, green, or blue coins gets +1 to elements. That's just a simple extra bonus to swing the stats in in your favor of a certain element or a certain of a certain build, right? And now every coin has an identity, which is own governing ability and element. So this is more important for combos. So that's why I played this slide here. So these are used for applying combo bonuses. So white combos are especially strong, so they provide the most stats. So as you can see here, red is identity of strength and fire. Black has identity of constitution and earth. Aptitude, which is a defensive stat, and metal. So these are defensive stats right here. The only real offensive stat for the physical stuff is the red one. But yep, strength, constitution, aptitude. And then we have intelligence, which is lightning. The technology stat. Green is resilience and wood, so the defensive magical stat. And blue is the devotion and water, so the offensive magical stat. So, but the only thing that is really cool about white is that if you are able to put them in combos, they become very strong. And let's go ahead and do some examples, or talk about the type of combos you could do. Right? We have the joint combos, which is 2 adjacent outer slots, +1 to each color of that stat. And we have triangle combos. If you place 1, 2, and 3 here, or 1, 2, and 3 here, these are 3 triangle-shaped combos. You get +2 to each color stats. Whereas the line combos is 3 straight line slots, which gives you +3 to each color stats. And combos do stack. So if you have a line combo of 2 red coins, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red coins, it provides us +6 strength and fire as well. So the game encourages you to do builds that are not quite so balanced. The only character that should have balanced skills are the ones that are collecting all the white coins. They become the de facto imba character of the campaign, right? But I mean, if you have a line combo of 2 white coins each, if you're able to get that far, you will have a +6 to all stats and all elements, which is a huge swing in that direction. Yeah, anyways, let's just go ahead and talk about an example, I think. Oh, we didn't have an example because we are going into the various different backgrounds. I'm not sure if Manta's going to be here or not, because he probably has family stuff to deal with right now over the New Year's. So that being said, hopefully he'll show up. If he doesn't, that's fine. I mean, we'll get all of this in a video anyways. So here's the background. You pick a realm. So if you pick one of the 7 realms, that's the original title of the game, right? But if you pick one of the 7 realms, you determine your starting coin and elemental bias. So for example, if you pick the Nyxbor, which are the Beastkin, they start with a +2 fire stat bonus, and you get red coins as the start, and you determine the base stats and weight used for initiative for the species. So okay, that's an example. We pick 2 strength +1 stone Tigrin. So if you pick a Tigrin as a character, create a character. I'm using a template here. So Vladan the Tempered, he is an Nyxborian Tigrin. So his weight base is +1, and we have a +2 in strength, +2 in fire. So that's his starting background, right? So what do we do with him next? We have starting rolls. And for starting rolls, what we do is we roll 4d6, and you pick 3. Add base value -1 separately to each of the stat set. And I know this seems harsh, right? That you only get a... I'm not even sure if we're going to reroll ones yet. I don't think we even reroll ones. It's going to force you into a really tough choice straight from the beginning if you're going to create a character. And the drama of creating a character in this case will be part of the fun as well, because it is very, very possible that you could get a horribly statted character. Yep. But okay, so what's going to happen is you roll 46 and you pick 3 of the 46, right? And then you add those values separately as a stat set. Okay, so I did this offline for my character, and he's OP, like really, really strong. But anyways, we have strength, devotion, and intelligence as the first stats we need to roll for, or the attack stats. Then these are the defensive stats. We'll need to roll that next. And then the last 2 rolls will be the elemental stats, so you could actually add them in any order. So we go character creation. Let's roll for the attack stat. And as you can see here, we've got a 4, a 6, and a 6, and a 2. We'll discard the 2. We don't need that. And we have to place 6 and 6 and 4 into the attack stats. And we're going to ignore that. We have to -1 to each of them, right? So we go +5, +5, +3. We decided to go, okay, let's go with strength and then devotion and +3 to intelligence. Usually, I'll just say right now, the reason I picked this is because since we have a fire-weighted character, it is more likely that we'll be able to tap into the abilities of fire mage flavor than I'm going off on a kind of detailed building stuff right now. It is more likely that we're going to be able to tap into the warrior mage build than a warrior tech build, because fire has not only the stat itself, but it also has the ability to pivot into various different the spells are good, I'll just say that. But okay, that being said, let's continue with the second bit of rolls. We have 6, 4, and 3. So -1 to each face. And I applied +5 to Constitution, +3 to Resilience, and +2 to Aptitude. Those are the defensive stats done. Then I rolled this, and I said, okay, we got a 5, 5, 4. Let's add these to the strongest elements here. So we're going to go fire here, which is the base element. Fire, and then we go +3 each to wood. And if we rolled poorly, we could actually dump some of these like so into the other stats that we're not going to use. Yep. So this is what's the roll. Then yeah, we'll just dump all those other stats that we don't need. So it becomes more. The drama is there immediately at character creation. So okay, so this is our base stats right now. And you see here, we got a strength. So our base stats are now locked. We're going to keep it there. You could. This is a write it down with a pencil or write it down with a pen levels of locked. You can't change these base stats anymore. So okay, so realms, the chosen realm that you've picked will determine your starting coin. So we've already got we picked Nyxbor, so he gets +2 red, has 2 red coins to start, and +3 random coins. And we're gonna have a kind of a coin bag. Which is we have 2 white coins and +3 to each other coin colors to a bag. And if you don't have a coins or a coin bag, easiest way of doing this is rolling a d20, and then there's from 1 to 20, 19 and 20 are the white coins. The rest of them is 3 each of each coin. So 1, 2, 3 is red, 4, 5, 6 is black, 7, 8, 9 is yellow, 10, 11, 12 is purple, 13, 14, 15 is green, and 16, 17, 18 is blue. So you could do that as well if you don't have coins. But yeah, you draw 1 black 2 blue coins. So I rolled those numbers and we drew 1 black and 2 blue coins. So this is the important thing, right? Immediately by drawing this, I know immediately that we can't go pure warrior. Going pure warrior is going to be a little bit rough on a character because we have really, really strong elemental stats. And we need to go somewhere along the lines of warrior mage. Okay? And having the access to fire, water, and earth means that we could shuffle these around. And I spent some time shuffling these around. So the best build that I could come up with these coins is this one. First I tried different things. For example, I tried to do a joint 2 coins here of water, and we tried to put this coin in the earth, the constitution stats, but it doesn't do the build very good because I think the center panel is important in this case because it gives the highest bonus at the start of the game. So I realized that a lot of the coin in the middle will do a lot of work. So I decided to put the water coin in the middle, so it would give us a flat boost to all the elements. The alternative is putting the black coin in the middle for the boosted to all your physical stats, which is a fair choice, but it does mean that our devotion or our magic stat or magic attack is going to be less. And as you can see here, we have +5 strength from the top position of red here, +5 resilience from the upper right, and +4 devotion for the lower left. So that's a +5, +5, +3, right? No, +5, +5, +4 for all these stats. Then let's recalculate the elements. So for lightning, we have a 2.5 from the water and 0.5 from the from 2.5 from the blue coin and we have, what is it, 2.5. For lightning we have 2.5 here, so half of 5 and half of 1 added together is a +3 to lightning. And then for water we have half of 2.5 rounded up to 3. We have 0 added from this panel, so that's the thing. And we have a 0.5 to earth, so let's add +1 to earth here. And then we also have a joint red combo bonus right here, so +1 to strength and fire. And then the center blue coin is a +1 to all elements. And there's an argument for doing. We could keep the joint combo of fire for the added strength. We could put more coins in the middle for or a stat coin in the middle for added even more strength if we so wish. But I think a +13 strength per roll is already strong enough. So for the final build here, you can see we have a character which is a warrior mage with 13 strength, very, very high. And we have a 8 resilience, which is decent. We have, interesting that we have 8 resilience. So with resilience, it makes us weak to magic, which is very, very, which is not very good for a physical character. Being weak to magic means that you take, you deal, it makes you a complete glass cannon. But yeah, we probably want to try to make some changes here as well in terms of, okay, what do we want to do in terms of magic? Do we want to lower devotion by placing this over here instead? That's also an option. I mean, putting the black coin down in constitution we'll make sure that we take our defensive choices is going to be a little bit different. But by we'll talk about these stats a little bit later. But certainly there's an argument to be made by placing this coin right here instead of the magic. But yeah, placing the black coin here makes us glass cannon. Placing the black coin here makes us a little bit tankier at the cost of putting the black coin here will make us tankier, but at the cost of less magical damage, which should be fine. And now we talk about gravitas. Hey, gravitas is the name of the game, right? So gravitas is your reputation vector. You calculate gravitas by summing all of your ability stats and minus it with your elemental stats. So all of this will be following scale of -1 all the way to +2. So the more positive your gravitas, the more pragmatic your character is. Not how influential your character is. Now, the more you taper towards either spectrum of the end or either end, the more the difference the way people will react to whenever you have conversations with. So this is an important vector for the DM most likely to keep track of, because the more physical, the more pragmatic, they get things done. They're very grounded, right? Versus over here, they're very...
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Master Chief. There's not a lot of people here yet, but yeah, this is the last stream of the year. So welcome to the last stream of the year. And I'm just talking about my tabletop. I know Manta isn't here yet, but that's probably because he's busy with family things, I would assume. But anyways, -2 makes your character very, very, very idealistic. So talking about dreams, goals, able to convince people to join them, big picture stuff, very immaterial dreams and things, right? Talking about the greater good. That's the kind of character with a higher elemental stat is. But for the bottom is, if you stay in the middle, you become an untrustworthy wildcard trickster type character. So NPCs will react to based on however you build your character, and it's not what you carry. Gravitas is not what you carry. It is what the world believes you're worth. I mean, this is already a very strong tagline that I certainly want to be able to use. All right, so with that being said, let's talk about how we calculate gravitas. Gravitas is the meta stat that, for example, the abilities now sum up to 40, and the elements sum up to 31. Hopefully my math is correct here, which make a character a +1 gravitas character. With +1 gravitas, we will be slightly pragmatic, meaning that people will generally trust what we say. Oh yeah, the difference between trust and belief, right? People trust characters with high, with positive gravitas, but people believe characters with negative gravitas. There's the more simplified difference. What this means, most NPCs will believe you, and pragmatic skills we also have more pragmatic skills available if we ever... Oh yeah, for this, what this means is that if you ever use white coins, skills unlock based on tiers. So if you have a white coin build character that is pragmatic, and if we ever get access to white coins, our skill tree will be the pragmatic skill tree, meaning you could use coercion as a an ability, for example. Is that everything? Yep. And the rest of it will be work in progress, which I do have quite a fair bit now. We have an item and market stuff that I'm still working on. We have the mission loop, which I'm working on. I have adventures and skill lists and stuff that I'm working on. And I don't have combat locked down yet. As soon as I have the combat locked down, I'll add it to the list of things I wanted to do regarding this TTRPG. And they will have a version 0.1 come out. And the rest of the stuff will be subspecies and backgrounds, bestiaries, sample characters and tutorial quests, and everything. And then we convert things to, and after that we convert things to a rulebook and maybe a solo mode. Okay. Next up, we'll talk about the market, which is how we buy and equip gear. This is all work in progress now. And the rest of the one before, okay, before we actually go into the work in progress, I'm going to go on a bit of a tangent, which is I've created a sandbox. I wonder if this works now. I've created a sandbox. There we go. This is me vibe coding using ChatGPT, of course. I know enough about coding to be able to do this and understand bits and pieces of how this will work. Okay, so learning from what we did so far, let me see if my calculations were correct. So if we did the base or base stats already, let's go back to, I'm going to briefly go back and have a look at our character's base stats. Right. We have the base stat of strength 7. Wait, did it lock the base stat to 5? Oh, wow. Okay, let me just do that as a... If the base stats are locked to... Okay, there's somewhere in the code that lock the base stats to 5. Which it shouldn't. Constitution 5, yep. Three, 3, 2, yep. Is that everything? Yeah. And for the base stats, we have 6 of fire. No, that's not what I wanted to do, damn it. Yeah, I'll need to go and tinker with the code because it hard locked the base stat swings to +5, -5, I think. Wood is 3. Okay, 1 for metal. For 1, 2. Yep. So imagine this as the base stats, right? As you can see here, D plus is +7 right now. And if we go with double red, right here, we go with the blue coin here, and a blue coin here. Gravitas is currently +1. And, okay, so our strength is at 11. Okay, that's interesting. Capping the base stats at 5 is an interesting detail as well. I might actually do that. But capping base bonus at 5. Because that way we don't end up with characters that are super duper strong. Yeah, that's a decent choice. And then you would be able to be slightly more forgiving regarding the stats that you actually gain here or choose. Right. So here's the first choice. If we put in devotion here, our constitution here, our constitution stat goes up to 9, which makes it our primary defensive stat. So strength, resilience. I might need to organize the abilities on the left a little bit. So strength is 11, then resilience is 8, and constitution at 9. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. If I'm able to balance this somehow, so that our resilience and constitution is the same, I might be able to give a better, make this a slightly stronger character in terms of defensive stats. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, that doesn't work. The only way it'll work if we go, hey, you know what? Oh no, that doesn't work either. But yeah, the amount of if we had a different coin set, then it'll be we'll be able to min-max this. But yeah, I would rather go with a higher constitution here, because getting high resilience means that our character will be able to deal strong damage against mages, but take more damage against mages, which is not ideal. Alternatively, we could make our characters high in another defensive stat. Okay. But that being said, this is the sandbox. So you can see here that 38 minus 31 plus 7, still a plus 7 gravitas. Wait, it's plus 9 for the other sum. Okay, I'm bad at math. That we'll know about that right now. But okay, so that's the general thing that we could do. If we do this, then basically we'll be able to. Well, I'll talk about what these different why it's important to pick and choose your defensive stats a little bit later. Right? Okay. Now I'm going to minimize this. Yep. And go talk about plus 9. Okay. So this is what I've come up so far that is kind of work in progress. As you can see here, we have the market that we visit during adventures outside the bank. You commit to your board first, then the market appears. So you did all the character creation done. And then when you buy, you need to buy by sacrificing either part of your build, or you get to get some of the items from the deck. For example, we're going to have a deck of cards that are going to be all of our items. And we have 2 rarities, which is the common deck and then the rare deck. shuffled and dealt during normal gameplay. And the rare deck only appears after a rare loot or as rare loot or when white reaches a certain threshold, which is a later rule that I'll talk about. But entering the market means you shuffle the common item deck, deal 7 face-up cards, and any additional cards in the rare deck depending on the skill. So any player may buy cards by paying coins, but the options is either paying straight from your board, which removes coins from your hex to immediately weaken the build, or you pay from the stakes, which means that you pay from the pool in the middle. But paying from the stakes is risky because one, you need to get the agreement from all of your other party members, and it will also cost an extra coin from the stakes. And the coins could actually be pulled with other players who afford purchases, so you could just choose a little bit wisely. So, for example, hey buddy, I need my gear for my character, but I don't have any red coins to spare. Hell, you know what? I'm going to use my blue coin to buy your equipment, and you could use your red coin to help me buy my equipment. Deal? Right. So that's the way. It is a cooperative game at heart, right? I'm reminded of things like the Marvel, like Legendary system, where it's a cooperative game at first, and you need to win the main objective first, but then you get to see who has the most merit later, right? So when bought, the card goes into the buyer's inventory, and we'll talk about inventory and carry rules in a later update. Any cards not bought are shuffled together and placed at the bottom of the common deck afterwards. So shuffle the common deck, deal it, and then you put it under, and then the deal it, buy stuff, and whatever's not bought gets put to the bottom, and we can't see what is there. And for this is the gist of what the item cards are going to look like, but of course this is AI generated, so it's not completely accurate. We have the name of the card, and then we have the rarity. Yeah, it's just going to be simple names like swords, like this, right? For the common stuff. The equipment type is either going to be melee, defensive, projectiles, tools, boots or head, or consumable, and the coin cost will be up here. We could either have basically what coins we need to pay with, right? And it is rough in a way that if you pay from the stakes, you're going to need the color of the coin of whatever you're going to whatever. When you pay from the stakes, then you need to sacrifice from the prize pool whichever coin you covet the most for the bit of this as well. So I'm not sure yet whether if this is going to be of how this is going to affect the game, but characters could definitely go gearless to start off with, and then these could be like nice additions. But of course, what actually determines things is what kind of text or effect it is that it's going to be worth the coin that we're going to start off with. And also, we'll need to see what kind of prize pool we're going to get in term prize pool and fees we're going to get at the beginning, right? We have weight, which is determines use for initiative. We're not going to have encumbrance as a thing, I don't think. Tags determines the damage type of the element. Down here we have a fire. McLee, seriously. Damn you AI, but we'll do proper editing of these kinds of images later. And the effect text, and this is the state tracking. When it's normal, it's upright, and then you tap it. Once you tap it, you lose this effect, but you still determine your attack capabilities from your items mostly. So items become, you could either have a normal item damaging item or broken item. And broken items get scrapped, so it goes into a discard pile called the scrap pile, and you use that for certain effects of different characters, right? Next up is the adventures. We have skill checks, which is 2d6 versus the ability or the element versus the TN, but we're not sure what the TN is going to be in the end. We either have, I'm not sure how this is going to be easy, for 5 for easy, 7 for standard, then 9 for hard, 11 for brutal. These things will be balanced in the future, so it's just going to require a bit of playtesting. Your board and coins determine your current stats. Wagering coins changes your options mid-adventure, and tiered skills are locked by the coin commitment. So basically, the more committed you are to a certain coin, the more options you'll have. And this is what I've come up with as examples so far regarding adventure skills. So we have, for example, fire, which is the martial skill. We get intimidation. We could use taunt. We could rouse our troops or our folk. And we have the endure to tank hits, break to destroy things, traverse to move across obstacles. And we have things like repair and disarm and appraise for metal. That's the defensive stuff, which the defensive technology dudes. And then we have lightning, which is sneaking and lock picking and quick hands and all that stuff, right? All the kind of thievery stuff. For water, we have things like scouting and pathfinding. And for wood, it's all your fortune telling type things, augury, sense motives, probes, anything that uses internal, like, kind of feels towards things. And then for the white stuff, which is word, I might change from word to another word to make things a little bit easier to see or distinguish between wood and word. Yeah, we have parlay, haggle, and leverage. All these kinds of woods, all the kinds of negotiation skills, right? Where we talk to the like we could basically have a character that lets us talk to the enemy. And I think if I remember correctly, picking human now is the only way for us to guarantee you 2 white coins. So if you pick human, immediately you don't have any good stats to start off with. I might even make the humans the weakest stats, because you have maybe a -1 starting stat to everything, but we'll balance it by giving you 2 white coins to start off. So there's things like that that I'll need to consider. But adventuring, the skills in tier 1, meaning you have 1 coin of that type. We have single target magic attacks for number 2. Signature move for number 3. That's the highest you can get for getting 3, committing to a single stat for a single color. And then we start getting into the higher tier stuff like AoE spells and stakes manipulation. And then we have a capstone skill all the way at the level 7. Right? So this is still more work in progress. We have the party HP, which is the stakes or the money in the middle. Get hit, the pot loses coin. Encountering creates a merit pile per player that decides loot priority at the mission's end.
I must go now and gonna play games such as Gundam Breaker 4. Bye.
Bye-bye, Master Chief. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully we'll see more people in the stream afterwards. But we'll see. We have merits that We have merits that we could track, which is +1 merit for a successful hit, solving an encounter and objectives. Like we might have encounter cards. I'm not sure if we're going to have encounters be like a separate different card stock type or bestiary that you could divvy out to track how much of the encounter gets how much merit people have at the end. And the end of it all, you have a mission payout, meaning that players take turns to claim coins from the pot in merit order. And the highest first, break ties with a quick 2d6. And then we have the combat triangle. So the attack mode is determined by which skill or weapon is used. So that's probably important to why get weapons in the first place, right? So if you have otherwise you'll be defaulted to using your bare fists, right? Which is physical. So getting gear, especially offensive gear, is more important for ranged characters, almost exclusively, because otherwise they won't be able to default to a physical attack. Otherwise, unless you have two of each, technology characters will have the roughest time without gear. So that's probably the biggest downside of tech characters. But yeah, anyways, that you don't have. So physical characters have the best immediacy because you could deal damage immediately with physical attacks using your strength. Magical characters could almost immediately get their magic up by getting at least 2 coins of the same color, which is unlocked almost exclusively. And technological characters will almost definitely need some sort of gear to start off with. So if you go for tech characters, I might need to do a balance to make sure that they arrive with some equipment, right? So maybe draft 1 free gear from the bank or from the market before coming in. We'll see. I'll think about who could possibly work, how this could possibly work in terms of starting gear. Okay, that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the defense mode, though. Defense of your character is determined automatically by looking at your 3 defense stats. So looking at Constitution versus physical defense, Resilience, which is magical defense, and Aptitude, which is technical defense. And your highest one is immediately your defense stat and your defense mode. And if tied, the defender will choose for that particular scene, right? Okay, that's a way to balance things a little bit. It just doesn't. They'll probably choose it for either just for that combat. I think that balances out. Otherwise, okay, I'm going to defend with this. I'm going to defend with that. With a triangle advantage, though, physical does more damage to magic users. Magic users does more damage to tech users, and tech users deal more physical damage. Tech deals more damage to physical characters. So it's basically a rock paper scissors type triangle, right? And in the lore, the way this is the way this is done in the lore is that physical characters, technology, right? Guns and firearms and crossbows and stuff. Range stuff is strong against pure melee characters, unless they're pretty armored. But yeah, guns versus fists, right? Bring a knife to a gunfight, literal meaning. But of course, magic does a little bit of physics bending here and there. So projectiles and things won't always work very well against magic. Both of them are at they both of them attack at range, right? And if one could bend the rules of physics to cast spells, then it's going to work very well against the technology which relies on physics. On the other hand, magical characters need time to charge up. So so physical characters, especially ones that could attack at a certain range, will be able to take advantage.
Howdy howdy, sorry I'm late. Was visiting with grandmother and family.
That's fine, Mana. It's completely fine. We're almost at the end of the PowerPoint already, so I'll just go over things almost like quickly, and then I'll come back and go over things because I'm currently recording, right? So as soon as I'm done with the PowerPoint, I'll show you what we have so far. Oh wait, we're done with the PowerPoint. Okay, you've arrived exactly at the end of the PowerPoint, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and hopefully those of you who are actually watching this from the edited video, let me know as well what you want us to see next in the whole thing. All right, so as soon as I'm done recording, as soon as I'm done, I'm just going to go to the members to kind of thank them as watching all the way to the end of the edited video. So say thank you to members. You guys will get to watch this little edited video early, as well as some cool badges and emojis for whenever you get to watch this, to comment. Okay, let me just do this properly. So members will get to watch this video early, and you get some cool badges and emojis for whenever you comment. So Apilux, Manta, Rafael Vega Chapa, Amislam, Chris Burton, you're currently the members on YouTube, so that's your perk. But Lord Yelanek, who's also a subscriber on Twitch, will be able to not have access to this though, but get an honorable mention here as well. And if you want to check out the membership program, click on the join button down below, or subscribe to me on Twitch. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. And yeah, I'll stop the recording now. Right, and let's get back to the game dev screen. Ooh, okay, there we go. I've also shaved my head in preparation for the newer year. Okay, let's see. I don't know how much stuff I've added to the PowerPoint, but basically there's two things that I want to show. So we'll briefly go here and slideshow again. Yep. So we've seen this already, mostly. We've got the basics, where we just mentioned no XP, no levels. And the 7 coins are colors of what you're good at and how you solve problems. And the goal is a pile of coins. That's the reward. The tougher the mission, the better the payout. You owe the money. The payment is due. The pile of rewards is actually your HP. And basically, you wager stuff by moving 1 coin from your hex board to the stakes that gains immediate effect. Basically, you could get temporary, keeping your pool of coins available, right? But you might get the fees, money back, but of course the fees taken by the bank at the end of the quest is random, so we'll see. So the bank is where you build and respec your hex board. You choose a mission, you go build a character, and then you lock your panels and then go onto the marketplace to buy stuff. Then you go to the mission exploration mode. You go to do missions, you explore, you do combat, and you could always go back to rebuild your character by paying your bank fee, and then you come out, go visit the market again, etc. Right? And then there's a bank fee always, and if your bank fee for that quest ever exceeds the pot, you will go into a game over state, right? And if your bank, if you are done with the mission and you go to cash in the rewards, you could get to choose a new mission at the bank. And you can't cash in whatever at stake until the mission is completed. And if you can't complete the mission, or if you can't pay what the bank demands, you become bankrupt, or worse, the bounty. And if you, at any point, you realize that this mission might not succeed, you could, you have a choice of like bailing, running away, and becoming the bounty at any point, or a player character could decide to betray the party and say, nope, I'm going to backstab you now, right? And he's going to have to hope for the best. But that's also, actually, you know what's the thing? Backstabbing the party is a interesting occurrence because although you lose your player character in a TPK scenario, right, where your characters get washed, the strongest character has the incentive. If you decide to say, okay, let's just balance all the stats into this really one strong character, that one strongest character could, if you decide to betray the party, could become, could get all the loot, get everything, and then becomes a bounty, right? Okay, so I've decided on names for some of these coins already. So as you can see here, yeah, and also, just as a little tangent to say thanks for being here, Amanda. I know it's a tough time for you, and being here, I really appreciate it for you to be here, as always. And don't worry, I'm not recording anymore. This is just me going over the PowerPoint one more time just for your sake, okay? Just so that you could see all the updates, right? And we've gone over, renamed all the currencies. The Nixporian coin is the soldier and prize fighter coin. The Gummasari ID is a currency of the medicine and the underworld.
Glad to be here.
Yep. And I mean, it's the last stream of the year. I put it up on YouTube that this is the last stream of the year. So, yep. And we've got the Julian currency of sailors, guides, and smugglers, and pilgrims. So the traveling currency. And over here we have the Viracochin Rapra, which is the currency of messengers, inventors, thieves, and gamblers. Anza is the currency of the newly formed Republic, volatile but with high potential. And this is the bank currency, which is currency of industry, craftsmen, engineers, and the largest bank, used in factories, construction commissions, and most accepted currency of all the realms. Oh yeah, and the Shuren Yan. It is kind of ironic that the currency that's tied to the Shuren, or the tree folk, is given the shape of an eye, but it is more symbolic than anything, because they don't, since they don't have eyes, they have like the currency is tied to their internal state, right? So they have a lot of senses that compensates for this, right? And as you can see here, coins have different abilities and elemental values.
Urge to guile rising, howdy howdy. Been lurking.
Hi. Feel free to guile.
I already have a headcanon that the coins are often just nicknamed by their colors. Nyx Reds, for example. Hyapamond.
Yep. You got a bunch of reds? Nyx Reds? Yep. A bunch of red coiners. Yeah, it's like, ooh. Are you sure you want to play in black? We don't accept the black coins here. or
I don't want to guile.
Okay. We don't accept them blue coiners over here. Them are smugglers' coins. Wait, why is it suddenly Western accent? Wait, Southern?
At Common Sun, you successfully redeemed cancelled for 10 LP.
Yep. Yeah, I know how sus that sounds. Coins, not kind. Damn it. But yeah. since these coins are tied to different currencies and banks, right? But okay, so these gets converted to numbers. As you can see here, the highest stats right now are red, and highest element is blue. And there's a rainbow of colors, as you can see, with the yellow having the highest ability, purple having the highest, the highest ability, in red right now, and white having the least abilities but the highest potential, because white makes up for the lack of stats with the highest combo bonuses. And the thing is, I just realized, right? Okay, so we've used 12 stats around the hex board, right? Numbers 1 through 12, just so that it's easier for this. And then we have the tiles. I've named the tiles top, upper left, upper right, center, lower left, lower right, bottom. And I just realized that we have a top and a bottom for the coin slots. So, and since the physical abilities, strength is the offensive stat, and
Bet your bottom dollar.
And constitution is the defensive stat. I just realized that how strong you are physically determines that you are a top, and how strong you are defensively physically determines that you are a bottom.
At the determined tab, you successfully redeemed Bonk for 10 LP.
I need to rename these, I think. Yep. I seriously need to rename these, or not. I want to do the plausible English is not my first language excuse. That I got just the whole top and bottom thing, and just have people go hee hee top, you know. But anyways, elements are somewhere in between. Yeah, this is a more detailed way of saying like
true
which
upper, center, true lower.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll do the renaming a little better, right? But I mean top and bottom just works well as well. I'll keep it as a nickname for now. You know what it's going to be? It's a nickname that anybody who's in the development circle of here of this will be going these could be known as highest and lowest, or these could be known as the front or back tiles, and we could go front and back, or high and low, but we
Bottom heavy,
like
LOL.
yeah, and then we could be knowingly behind the scene that the devs used to call it top and bottom. Yep. But it's just a cheeky little thing. Sorry. Cheeky. Oh my goodness. Right. So that being said, water. The way that things have been laid out here, water and wood are furthest from their stats. Strength and constitution is closest to their elemental stats, and lightning and metal are somewhere in between. See, right here. Right? And for the elemental calculation is you put one coin here, this is a +5. You put one coin here, this is a +2. You sum it together to get 7 and half it, and then you round it up so the water rounds up to 4. Right? Coin stacking is already determined. 3 coins stack is fine, 4 is not. You could always stack up to 3, and it has to be of the same color. And I haven't animated this, but if we place a stack here, we get stack of 3 red coins, you get +7 ability, +2 element. It provides +7 strength, +1 water and fire. If you place it at top one. So it goes +5 and nothing. Second coin goes +6 to strength and +1 to each of these, because these round up from half. And adding one more, it gets +7 strength, +1 water and fire, which is, I think, rounding up balances things pretty well. And as you can look at the bonuses, right? After coin calculations, you look at the three types of bonuses, which is the center coin bonus, the combos and backgrounds. Center coin is basically +1 to either all abilities or elements, depending on the coin, which does not stack. And for the colors, they have an identity. So red has a strength and fire identity. Black has a constitution and earth identity. These all have identities when applying combo bonuses. So this is unlimited saga rules, joint combos, triangle combos, and line combos. +1 to each color stats for joint, +2 to each for triangle, and +3 to each for each color stats. Combos do stack. So for example, if you have 2 red here, here, and here, it stacks to, instead of +3 to each of them, you get +6 to each of them. So line combos of white will be super strong. And of course, so we pick a background. So if we pick a Nyx Borean background, we get a red coin as your starting coin, and you get the fire as an elemental bias. And we pick a species to determine the base stats and weight. So for Tigran, you get +2 strength and +1 stone. The game testing suggests that I cap stats, so it can't go above 5. So that's something that I'll need to consider, right? And we go to starting rolls, right? But I haven't capped the stats here, so I'm not sure which one feels better, all right? So to do this, we start with a rolling of 46, and you pick 3. This is much, much more cruel than starting rolls of D&D. Basically, you roll 46, you pick only 3, and separate these into each stat set. The first stat set is the attack stat set, which is strength, devotion, and intelligence. B is the defensive stat set, which is constitution, resilience, and aptitude. And then the elements could be added in any order, right? But they do recommend that we cap the stats at 5. But that would actually make it so that the starting rolls really... it only matters if we have a horrible starting roll. So I wrote these off screen, and for example, I got a 466 for the offensive stats, which is very, very high. And we went with 5 strength, +5 devotion, +3 intelligence. But if we are going with the stat cap at 5, I'll switch these two, right? So we have immediately +5 to all of these. And over here, constitution, resistance, and aptitude gets +5, +3, +2. And then we go, oh, we have 5, 5, 4. Let's add these to our elements. Whichever elements we get a boost at. And yeah. So, and we'll just pick and choose whichever order we're going to do this with. All right, with that, well, let's continue. Wait, I did this wrong, didn't I? It should be +4, +4, and +3. Yeah, I did this wrong. I need to fix this anyways. But we'll need to fix this anyways at the whatchamacallit stage. At the determining the base stats stage. Because if that's the case, then we'll do the rerolls. But okay, so starting coins, you get +2 red and +3 random. We're going to have a little bit less white coins. So 2 white coins and 3 of each other color. Put in a draw bag, draw 3. And then if I draw the coins, in my play test, I drew 1 black and 2 blue. So immediately it just points me towards, hey, we're going to make a warrior mage, right? And then we placed all the coins. I tried placing it this way to increase our devotion, to increase our magic damage. But what actually made me second guess this is that the problem now is that the Constitution now is no longer the biggest. By putting the red coin here, we made it so that the Constitution is no longer the highest defensive stat. And by making the character have resilience means that it's a magic defensive type, meaning it will take more damage against from other physical characters, which is very bad. Which is very, very bad. Our physical characters are probably either frontliners or sideliners, meaning that you will. So the best practice for a physical character, I think, would be to increase aptitude. Well, I never ever thought about that. So, or if you want a strong frontliner, we could make it so that you are strong against water. No, strong against tech attacks. And if you have high aptitude, you'll be able to do with other frontliners well, but you'll trade it off by taking more damage from magic. So, yeah, things like this is something we'll need to consider, because frontliners will probably want higher defenses against 1 or 2 types or vanguards, right? Especially if you're going to be in front to tank all of the damage. Being able to tank all the damage with at least 2 different types is going to be very strong. Otherwise, you're going to go, okay, it's interesting because now we have a choice of taking more damage from other frontliners, taking more damage from taking more from the backliners.
Tank.
Yeah. So if we go with this and we pick this as a resistance stat, makes that we are this makes for a great midliner, because if this is the case, or not quite a midliner, a warrior mage that is good at the warrior mage that is weak to with high resilience, which means it's weak to physical attacks. So this is a character that works well hiding behind another vanguard, right? So if you do that, we could spend some time discussing it. Hey, you should be in the I rolled a warrior mage. You should be, the other guy should be the vanguard. Or, okay, this is already an interesting turnout, because what that means that you need to specify with your other characters or other people that this is what you want for your build. And this is what I have for my build. This is what you have for your build. We could actually maybe, I'm not sure what the limitations of exchanging coins will be. I think it'll be really broken if the bigger the party members, the more party members, the higher number of coins. That could be something I need to address for the future with coin trade limits. Maybe you could only trade at the most 3 coins. Or trade at least or maybe just 1 coin. That could be it. I mean, that's probably the limitation that I'm might impose in the future. Otherwise, it's going to be, hey, let's create a campaign with 7 characters and have other people join in, and no limits, right? I mean, that's our thing about tabletop. You could have as many people in the campaign as you wish, and you ramp up the difficulty. Oh, actually, what's going to ramp up in difficulty is that if you have 7 people, then the mission threshold is going to go up. You know what? Let's just see. We'll talk about all the balancing later. And now we have gravitas as a reputation vector now, so you could see that clearly. It's a -15 +15 for how NPCs react to you. This might not be. This probably is the tagline. Yep, gravitas is not what you carry. And we sum this up, so it's a +9. So +1 gravitas. Most NPCs believe you. And if you ever unlock the skill tree in white coins, it'll be the pragmatic skill tree. And we'll talk about skill trees in a little bit, right? And these are some of the newer things that I wanted to add. And these are all work in progress, right? So last time I said the works in progress are items in market and doing the mission loop. And also a glossary of all these things, which is subspecies, backgrounds, bestiary, and simple character and tutorial quest, which is the less necessary, but the bestiary is something we'll need to complete, and the subspecies stuff we'll need to complete before rolling out version 0.1. And yet we have visiting the market during adventures outside the bank. And we have item decks. We have a common deck and then a rare deck. And the common deck you shuffle and deal during a normal play. And the rare decks that appears as either rare loot or when the characters, white characters meet a certain threshold. Yep. So makes you, white is very, very coveted in this case, right? So if you have a character with higher threshold than white, you will unlock more rare loot. And that's very Unlimited Saga inspired as well. Shuffle the common item deck, deal 7 cards face up in a row, and deal any additional cards in the rare deck depending on the level of white. And then during the market, you pay the coins to purchase, and on-board cards could go to the bottom of the deck. But you pay from your board by removing coins for your own hex to weaken your own build, or pay from the stakes, which costs an extra +1 coin from the stakes per purchase. Paying for the stakes is super risky. Well, the thing is, you need a majority vote, pretty much. Because you say, hey, I want that one very much, and said, hey, I can't, no, I'm not going to let you. So the game becomes a bit of a market negotiation stuff if you have at least 2 player characters. If you have 3 player characters, then we have the majority vote stuff. And if you can't decide, but the thing about it is, this is a pretty much a cooperative game. First, I'm thinking of like games like Marvel Legendary, where we're trying to help each other first, and I mean if we game over, we game over. So it's a cooperative game at first. The only time that the treachery mechanic comes into play is whenever we're about to lose. So there's not an incentive unless somebody unless there is something in the background that is because there's something in the back, like for the tutorial quest we might have a simpler one single loop, and then the secondary loop, the betrayal happens. But yep, so coins could be pulled with other players so for purchases even. So, hey, you have a blue coin, I need a blue gear, you need to help me out. Or say, I don't actually need this blue coin, I'm just using it for the balance. So if you want, I could help you purchase this. Well, if you help me purchase that, or I get first dibs on the loot as soon as we come back from the bank. Or things like that. Negotiate. So markets, you go negotiate with people, and bought, the card goes into the player's inventory, and yeah, any cards not bought gets shuffled and put back in the bottom of the pile. And this is ChatGPT generated sus item number 1 with rarities, equipment types. Equipment types
encourage player-to-player interaction.
Yep. So yeah, there's P2P interactions. I guess that's the gist of it. But yeah, we have equipments like equipment types. Melee, which is the red one. Defense is the black one. Projectile is the lightning or purple one. Tools are the yellow one. And we have boots boot, which is footgear and headgear, right? And basically, if you have different types of coins, you could buy different types of gear. And most likely, this text right here, for the simplicity of the game, we're not going to have a vanilla stat boost. I think that's going to be problematic in terms of what's going to come out on the other side. Is that, oh, the market gave me another stat boost. That's going to ruin my build. Or maybe we could just do a normal stat boost somewhere here and there. But something simple on this, right? And items have durability states, meaning that at normal, it'll be upright. If you tap it, exhaust, rotate 90 degrees, right? You lose the onboard effect right here. And then if you break it, you can discard it into the scrap pile. And the scrap pile is basically the discard pile that the thing about scraps piles, it will play into the role of the yellow player or the tech or the aptitude player, because metal skills will use scrap to deal more damage. So that's my canon anyways, where the yellow skills will deal with repairing items or using scrap for other things. And we also have the mission. This is also just a lot of things to figure out. Yep. But we have skill checks. I don't know what the TN is going to be yet for the skill checks. Basically, your board plus coins determine your stats, and we wager coins. Wagering coins change your options. Basically, it swings your options in your favor almost immediately, because wagering coins is super it should be very swingy, like fate points, because wagering coins puts your coin into the bank, but it weakens your build significantly. Either way, right? We go to tier 1. We have all these various different things. Fire is intimidate. The kind of skills you could intimidate or taunt the enemies so that they come attack. Intimidate so they run away.
I wager a coin to save the durability of my item.
Yeah, there's things like that. There are things like that, but yellow or metal characters have access to repair. They're the only guys with access to repair. And once an item is scrapped, scrapped items could be traded in for I think scrapped items could be traded in for rerolls, and items don't really become damaged at all unless you use skills, right? So this is going to be a little bit of something, or some sort of critical failure with the attack that damages your item. But we're not going to have items becoming damaged. Is going to be a relatively rare state. You're like that doesn't happen much in the course of the game unless you do it willingly or if you critically fail. Because currently I'm going to have to think about how useful scrap is going to be in terms of whether if you have a player with yellow coins or not. Because it becomes very useful for a yellow player, almost necessary for the yellow player to be able to tinker. And at a certain extent, we might be useful for the purple player as well, with lightning, sneaking, and lockpicking, or using some sort of scrap for. Actually, you know what? I'm going to maybe have a lot of maybe some of the skills for the lightning player.
I feel like one could wager their gear in place of a coin for certain situations.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought as well. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a scrap to coin conversion for when you go to the market. Definitely. There needs to be some sort of scrap to coin conversion, because we could actually go, right, so these items are broken. let's just sell them. But the thing is, we don't. Well, we could recycle the item, or
After all,
maybe
the stat coins aren't the only thing that affect build and success.
Yeah. The thing is, there's a balance of flavor, right? Because used gear is going to be worth a lot less than new gear, right? But I feel like used gear should be worth some coin value. Not as much as when we bought it. So either we could peddle off broken items or discard broken items to use for instead of coin sacrifices. That could work as well. Or we'll need to figure out in the rules whether if that's going to be a class exclusive or a role exclusive thing or a universal thing for a loot discarding. But I mean, literally what it feels like.
Have unique merchants that will purchase different things for different prices.
Oh man, unique merchants. Unique merchants is interesting, but there are
DM rolls for whether that merchant appears or not.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, definitely, for unique merchants. But the thing is, we already have a unique market item in the rare slot, right? But I'm not sure if the unique merchant is going to be a I feel like something like a unique merchant sometimes feel kind of gypped. It belongs more on less on a tabletop stuff than a less tabletop and more a video game. That's what I feel, anyways, because it's just like roll for dramatic effect for whenever you're DMing, isn't it? But I'm not sure if it's going to be. It's not that it's too much, but I feel like it's a nice to have rather than nice to have addition rather than as something that's necessary to determine right now. But I'll capture it. I'll think about it, right? And put it on a note somewhere. Fix the math. Go unique merchants. I'll need to type in the math like so. Right, fix the math and talk about unique merchants. And over here we have the skill tier ladder that I've determined briefly. So the tier ladder, so if you have 1 coin, you unlock their adventuring skills.
Fair. Oh, since this world is based on the idea of stories, there could be lore smiths who will buy old worn gear, but only if you have high gravitas.
Good. That's the kind of thing that I like. Unlocking selling stuff for gravitas. Definitely, because we have a parley haggle skill right now that maybe reduces coin at purchase, or maybe able to sell your gear for coin, or use trade in scraps for coin, broken and damaged gear for coin, things like that, or whenever you go back to the merchant. But yeah, anyways, the skill tier ladder, yeah, I'll cap it as gravitas coin broken gear use. Okay. And we also have the basic adventuring skills here. You know, intimidate and taunt. They're to get the enemy to either run away or attack. And we have the traverse skill for
This
Earth.
is the breastplate that saved the legendary Halkan Brodick during the siege of Vanderhul. A one-of-a-kind gear. Surely it belongs in a museum.
Oh my goodness, yep. That does sound like something that you could do while haggling. Oh wait, haggle should definitely be a trickster middle gravitas skill. I feel it. I feel it already. Like the middling guy could be really good at commerce. And yeah, we have metal and metal are the repair stuff. Lightning is the thievery stuff. Water is the pathfinding scout stuff. Wood is the fortune telling or sense hidden stuff. And the word, we might need to think about another word for word, which is parley, haggle, and leverage. Yep. For the white coins. And yeah, we have adventuring skills in the first tier. Basically, if you have one coin in that, if you have at least one coin in that, it will unlock that skill. 2 coins in that to unlock single target spell, or for that for a skill, and 3 will unlock a signature ability of some sort. 4 will be the first time you are able to commit. You need to at least commit 2 spaces on the board for this now. Meaning that will be the first one to unlock the AoE skill. 5 will be the stakes manipulation stuff. Basically like sneaking coin from the stakes into your personal pile for a purple or something along those lines. And we have the double sacrifice. Basically at 6 coins you have a skill that requires you to wager 2 coins for a huge effect. And 7 will be capstone. And I think I mentioned this last time as well. Capstone meaning that you have a it unlocks the end game of that campaign. And it used to be that white will be the only one with a capstone ability, meaning 7 coins will in white will unlock the end game. I probably want to change it to that 7 coins in any color will unlock will trigger some sort of end game for the campaign, or unlocks the boss pretty much. And it really does it does feel like more of a XCOM-y thing, right? To just have a coin unlock here and there. But anyways, stakes is party HP in combat. Encounters creates a merit pile, which determines loot priority, right? And we're either going with a merit token system, meaning that, okay, you get maybe like a D20 each to track the merit of successful hits and solving encounter objectives. Or the last hit, go by Dota rules. Or we do it with encounter cards, which is, again, is inspired by Legendary, by having an enemy appear as a card. And whoever has the most merit in that little battle gets that card to track how much merit you get. The only downside to that is that we have to design more cards, right? And we have mission and payout. So players take turns claiming coins from the pot in merit order. And highest goes first. Break ties with a quick roll of 2d6. And this is the attack triangle that we've talked about before. Attacks are either physical, magic, or tech. Defense is determined by looking at your 3 defensive stats, and your highest one is your defense stat and your defense mode. And if you're tied, your defender chooses the defense, right? And we've come up with attackers adding plus 1d6 to the attack roll as the advantage for attack types, which is relatively simple and more swingy than having the defense stats. So it's less math during combat, but it's just one more thing to add. Just like, and this feels more dramatic to add more stuff. Feels nice to attack it with an advantage. And this is for the physical stuff, and the elemental stuff halves will take more damage to the pot. So, for example, in defenses, if you are weak to against, if you're fire and you're weak against water and earth, if the enemy successfully lands a water attack on you, it's a fire elemental character, you will take 2 hits to the pot instead of 1. So, very, very, very scary mechanic if you aren't prepared defensively. And you could actually determine things like that as well as what kind of character you want to build, or what kind of what elements you need to do, or we'll see in the future. But because this is kind of rock paper scissory, it is very important that you have a decent build. And there's also I have a decent roster of characters, right? And the last thing is for if there's only 2 people, which is basically 1 DM and 1 other character, or if there's only 1 person, then we're going to have hirelings. Hirelings are pretty much just somebody who wants to get the grunt work done, who's actually just another character on the side. And if you're playing single player, then you dictate that of course. But if you're playing 2 players, and the hireling's going to be the PC for the DM to have. Basically, the DM will roleplay as a one of the PCs, and that will be from will be in front of the screen here. But of course, he could hide other motives. And this could be taught as a thing as well, that you could hire hirelings. And we could make a hireling specific character sheet as well, that you could play and swap and do things. All right, okay, so that's pretty much me going over this PowerPoint again. And after this, we're going to go and play some games to finish off the year. How's that sound?
Very neat stuff, Biggie.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for the support. But seriously, it is just this is just what I have so far. And there's even more stuff in the works. Like I said, if I look at the work in progress, then the combat will just as a thought right now, I think the combat's going to be based on the hex grid as well, and your characters will place your characters onto the grid of 7 where your character will be, and the formation will determine the viability of the attack. Like characters right in front could be vanguarded, characters behind that's characters at the center do something, characters at the back do something. Different types of spells and abilities could be achieved by placing a character here and there, all that stuff. But that'll be something I'll need to figure out over the holiday New Year, and I'll definitely need to do a video editing for that. All right, but okay. So any things to say so far? If not, then I'm gonna move on and play some Rogue Trader. Also, I might want to say a few things about hey, that's not the call. Yeah, star. Otherwise, I'll go say a few things. But I already talked about this in the beginning of the stream, so I might say it again. This year, I look back on the whole year as a whole. That's what you said. I look back on the year as a whole, and the most long-term success stuff are the translation stuff, or translation of Japanese JRPGs is the ones with the highest long-term success. That shows up here and there. Unlimited Saga is the other one. It just shows up everywhere. So, but that's more because that's my long form video. So for in the near future, I might need to pivot to that as well if I want to create content. But the Tokimeki video did pretty well compared to.
The day that Unsaga arrives to Steam will finally be its time to shine.
Yes. Yes, very much so. And I'll be there for a little bit. But unlimited, but this pivot is just in case Unlimited Saga doesn't show up. That's pretty much it. If Unsaga shows up, I'll be there to capitalize and eat everything up. Definitely. But yeah, anyways, let's set up whatchamacallit, Rogue Trader. Shall we? Come on, Rogue Trader. But oh yeah, I've just as a another thing, I've updated my this thing so that it has base stats on the left and working. Let's reset everything. Oh, resetting this doesn't actually change the base stats. Okay, I guess that's for the best. Okay, so I need to do a reset base stats, and I think base stats are kept at 5 as well. So yeah, I can't go beyond.
So this game will have tokens and cards as well?
So most likely, we could either go tokens and cards to deal with that, or not. I'll most likely the thing that we'll have cards for is the market. That feels like the easiest inclusion. Okay. Yeah, that seems like the easiest addition, because it will be able to keep track of the market, and then we'll also be able to keep track of the game state. And we might have like little bits of tokens to keep track of the stats, so that the math is correct, right? But otherwise, let's just keep that in mind. I'm just thinking if there's anything else in particular we'll need to consider. I think that's everything. I'll need to edit my stream right now. Stream category. What is it? A Rogue Trader. Rogue Trader. Okay. Let me just go and double check all the things. Let me turn on my game fan. Looking at the Twitches. Okay, the category is changed to Rogue Trader. That's good. I'll do all the RAM limits and CPU limits and network limits. So now my game doesn't burn through my PC. Let me close up this real quick. And I think that's it. Right? So let's go trading rogues. I'm going to move my camera a little bit. This way. This way, okay. Okay. Oh no, I think I played this offline. But that's fine. But apparently, I haven't min-maxed Strong Bad as much as I could have.
Fate and fortune favor the bold.
Because the thing about the biography, right? Is that we went with a fellowship build for increased coercion, but it was actually given a I was given a recommendation actually that the archetype that this belongs with is less fellowship, but if you want to make him like min-maxed, we could have given him a fortress world rather than the hive world, because I'll just briefly go into the main menu just to do this, right? Right, so I'll just let you know. Okay, so let's go with custom character. If we go with the fortress world, right? Planets with their entire populace is immersed in warfare, constantly training for the day
Strong
may be
Bad's
called.
home is a fortress with all the brew bottles and chaps bags around.
Oh no, not a fortress world. Actually, the best characters for a crime lord is not fortress world, but a forge world. So basically an Adeptus Mechanicus world. And entire planet cease to demand the vast macro industries, manufacturing super complex capacity. And why that is because you will get a Forge World character gains agility bonus, the movement, and agility bonus dodge. So if we go like that, and go for that, then go for, say, not Lore Imperium, yep. Bloody Shadow War, yep, Void Pirate Sector. Like, this is just a matter of min-maxing. I would go with as much weapon skill as we can.
More like man-maxing.
I can go like +1 intelligence. Yep. No, actually, I think it's perception. Yeah, but yeah, this is min-maxing for a character for certain stats. And we could pick either awareness or coercion as the so-called skill of choice to max on this side. But yeah, this is just a much stronger start. Basically a strong bad as a What's called a knife lord? Because of this gives us look at this.
now?
This a knife lord. That's the nickname of it. Because you have such high look at this. The bonus dodge is double agility bonus dodge, percentage dodge. So look at this. This is a so if we max out agility here, if we max out with that's
Knife Lord, LOL. Sounds
That's-
like Night Lord, which is best Chaos Space Marine Legion.
I mean, we get the double demolition right here. Well, no, we get we get half of agility. Plus, we just wait. Is that plus 20 movement points? That's really, really, really far. And then plus 80% dodge. That's super strong. But I guess that's more of if we want to do the unfair stuff. But if we're role playing, then that's fine. But since we have decent commerce, no, not decent commerce, decent fellowship, we get basically a bonus in intimidation. Right. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is there money to be made?
Yeah, I did the rest of the battle off camera. Because I'll say now, I made a bit of a mistake. I wanted to finish the battle on camera, but I mistakenly checked the save quick saved over the battle. So yeah.
Oops.
So that was an oops. So you gotta get to see me
Options open.
walking. A bunch of rebel gunners here.
At the Determined tag,
Ah.
you successfully redeemed Guile for 5 LP.
Okay. There we go. This should...
Your
Yeah.
arrogance will be your downfall.
Spare none of them.
Okay, strong bad. Probably should move here. Because I want you to deal with this guy. Oh, your turn's coming up first too. Right, next up is Pascal. Pascal could stay somewhere in the middle. Cassia could go here. Sister Argenta Here is fine. Abelard. Over here maybe? No, here's the more covered part. You know what? Abelard has access to going here, so let's move him here. Biggie is probably best over here. We'll move Pascal over here. So he could attack that dude in the side. And we'll move you here maybe. These two rebels, and then the gunner. Okay. Let's go with Surefire Plan. And Endure.
On it.
And then we'll do a charge, maybe? No, actually, we'll move you here. Surefire Plan.
I'll make it happen.
Do a large swing.
I'll see to
Zep.
it, but you never stood a
Oh.
chance.
Okay. Not ideal. And as for Pascal, let's give boosts. No, actually, they'll move you right next to him first. And then we'll go boost. And we go expose weakness. Choppy. Yep. And nice. Oh. Terminator. Hardly know her. Let's go boost Biggie.
But of course.
Move into cover.
What is this foreboding?
We'll go analyze enemies. These guys will get their turn next, so I'm gonna go analyze enemies here.
Was that you? Or
And it's either a one of actually, you could throw a grenade randomly.
on it? What a mess!
Off they go.
The Psyker's most powerful weapon, Granada.
Why won't you dodge? Oh wait, you dodged. Yep. Rune and Goon.
Faith
Run and
without
gun, not
deeds
rune and
is
goon.
worthless.
Gooning means something else. Okay, so we either do this right now, or... Let's go rapid fire. No, that's fine. I'm gonna shoot twice. There we go.
I'll do it. You none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
We got the levels. Ah ha ha, my sight is true. My mind is clear. Let's grab him.
I always have a backup plan.
Yeah, you shouldn't have actually moved out of the way, buddy. More goods to cargo. There's more stuff we could actually grab, but let's look at the levels. Okay. So, I could just go coercion, right? Yeah, let's go coercion. And let's look at the other
Well,
step
through
now.
the winter sale I now have every Final Fantasy mainline game except for 11, 13, and 15.
Well, good job, Mana. To be fair, come on, ADHD tangent, don't fail me now. Like 11 is not gettable. 13 is rough because it is right at that age. I'll say you now. I'll say to you now. Blu-ray did quite a fair bit of damage on the accessibility of gaming. It did quite a fair bit of damage. Because wait, Final Fantasy 13 is on PS3, right? The Blu-ray did quite a bit of damage in that department because it's
Yes.
not very accessible. Yeah. It became not very accessible for people to get the games. And because it transferred to a new bit of media, sure, it curbed like I said, it's an accessibility issue. More than anything. And people aren't able to upgrade the hardware, and the production of Blu-ray on the scene was pretty much impossible back then to make profitable as well. I mean, so that somewhat, and if you remember, $599 Ridge Racer. Wait, was that PS3 or 4? That's PS3, wasn't it? Attack the giant enemy crab for massive damage. That was PS3.
At the Determined tag, you successfully redeemed ADHD for 10 LP.
Yep. But anyways, the thing we should get for you as a knife character. Okay, we got the offing plan already. Bonus damage of surefire plan is increased by 6%. I can't remember which plan is best for you. Oh, we probably want to close the PowerPoint for Gravitas.
Why is Zone 10 playing Pokemon Sapphire?
You know how much of Pokemon stuff is sus? I think that's a bit
I
of
am
a
very
loaded
aware.
question. That's a very, very loaded question. You know exactly why. Yeah, but anyways. Okay. This is the one that you want. Whenever the warrior uses slash with 2 melee weapons equipped, the warrior deals damage from both weapons. Yep. Dual wielding. And we'll need to make sure that we have 2 melee weapons. Abelard. We'll go with, I think, athletics.
My friends and I played the Rule Dirty or DLE game where you guess the total uploads of whatever thing the game presents you. My friend was horrified by the amount of Pokemon uploads.
Yeah, Pokemon. Well, at least he's not playing a Sonic game. I mean, that's obvious. Maybe a bit too obvious. Yep. We should have gone with a taunting scream here as well. But we're gonna go with weapon skill and fleet combat training. Wait. Medicaid, athletics. No, athletics. Do we have already hardened scars? Thick skin. Hardened scars. Ramming speed. There we go. Increased charge distance. As for Adira, this is level 8, Thriving in Peril and Pain Channeling. Thriving in Peril, there it is. Every Perils of the War increased momentum by 13. And Do we have pain? Where's pain channeling? Wow. Okay. I understand. I gets it. What about our unfaltering fire and demolition? Yep. Let's see where unfaltering fire is. Unfaltering fire. Rapid fire no longer reduces damage. Wow. Okay. Rapid fire is this thing? Yep. What about our strategist? Cassia the strategist. It's either ebb and flow or focus, and go persuasion here. So focus is usability on an ally against bonus perception and ballistics. Focus Neo or ebb and flow. Ebb and flow is every even turn, additional action point. Added perception is so broken as well. And now, what is our dude going to be? Pascal? We're going to go with Pew Pew Pascal. It's Tide of Excellence, right? Triggers an exploit on an enemy, operative successful in damage +2 armor pen. Only so the first strike or projectile in a burst attack, and it stacks. Wow. And I think it's aiming protocols. Plasma and melta weapons. Yep. Look at those ballistic skills. Let's have Pascal unlock you. Can we clear our path?
This explorator is blessed.
Ooh.
Multifunctionality.
We got an officer's chain sword. Nice. And we also have a Fortress World Origin mesh vest. Armor 30%, dodge penalty 0.75. Armor reduces incoming damage. +5 toughness. Definitely goes to Abelard.
Look no further.
But we'll compare it to his current gear. Ah, it's a heretical thing. Nah. Right. We could actually wear it too, but we prefer the agility boost. Yep. It is interesting because the agility boost is pretty good on us. +5 agility. We also have less toughness, but I don't want to be able to dodge less with Space Captain Face. Okay, so I have a Mazoa pattern sword, which is an 8 to 12. A primitive sword, which is pretty interesting. Or a officer's chain sword. Chain weapons deal 25% critical damage. Okay. It's tough to think about because this probably works well on double Mars pattern. It's either going to be this one or it's going to be this one. Because this isn't a normal sword, it's a primitive one. And we can go chain sword here.
I have to wonder how primitive a sword can be. Like, they are all a sharp slab of metal.
The thing is, it's to distinguish between primitive swords and chain swords. I assume.
Fair, or power swords.
Right, let's go ahead and double check all of our armors. Sin skin, over here we have carapace chestplate. And a flak chestplate. Flak chestplate is a strict downgrade. Mesh chestplate is a little bit of an upgrade. For a huge dodge penalty though, so it's not really worth it. From your vantage point, it does not seem this lavish mansion has been damaged by explosions. But you cannot enter. Something's blocking the entrance from this side. Okay. There is a go down option here. to continue on the main quest. But I have a feeling I want to get as much XP as I can.
Keep your wits about you.
Do we or do we not go? Let's cancel. I remember that there's stuff that we could still get from up here.
This could be an opportunity.
Let's disarm it, please.
Never doubt me.
What's here? Planetary guard patrols are to be doubled. Punish the conspirators. A bunch of dead dudes.
Let us not dawdle.
Okay, so a bunch of dudes over there as well.
You will
There we
beg
go.
for mercy, but I will grant none. Your emperor won't save you.
Okay, prepare for battle. Oh wait, there's people on both sides. Yikes. This fire starter and these cultists will get their turn first. So let's move back as much as we can. Unless we want to put Abelard here.
What's a peculiar thing?
Okay, so what's happening? These cultists will get their turns first. Abelard and these will go before these guys. But these guys will move in, like so. So what Abelard's going to do is he's going to move over here.
We should deal with this.
Everybody should move up over here, I guess. Sister Argenta. Cassia. It's too close. I think Cassia could go here, but it's very close to all the enemies. Okay, Cassia could move here. So I want to move Space Captain Face over here. that dodged us, but we went out of cover. Okay.
At your beck and call. I
Do
will
this.
Do my duty.
Do
At
this.
your beck and call.
And slice.
Victory is imminent. Reduced
Nope.
to dust.
Nope. Oh, we're on fire. Are we?
The ruinous powers.
Oh, my ears are ringing.
Okay, what should you do? Have a surefire plan.
Who, if not me? On it.
More surefire plans.
I'll see to it personally.
Jonk. Nope.
Your end was inevitable.
All right, Sister Argenta. Move
God,
right over here,
Emperor,
please.
move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Doubt is for the weak.
Doubt for the weak. Crisscross.
Why I was chosen.
Okay. Let's do a bit of a stat boost. Cassia's on fire, but I don't know what we could do to put out the fire. But most likely we're going to stat boost Idira.
Anything else?
And we have lightning.
Cover me.
Don't come back to zippity zap me, please.
Farewell.
Oh. Right. That actually knocked what's her name back? Our Sister Argenta. Boost. Here. just look at you for a little bit.
I'm not accustomed to being you're clad in scarlet.
Oh, we got a heroic action. Now let's go ahead and use this on... Who do you want to grant extra turnsies to? Argenta, I guess?
If I may, I'll paint your death in colors.
Well, Sister Argenta.
Rejoice in battle!
Let's go ahead and use this.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
56%.
I'll do it.
Free reloads. Punch to momentum.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
We can't quite shoot you.
Doubt is
Let's
for the
just
weak. None can
bonk.
escape the Emperor's judgment.
Right? Pascal.
Explorators know one route. Forward. Request approved.
Oh, wow, that is not what I wanted to do. Okay. Didn't realize that the zippity zaps actually take damage. But to be fair, we're not wounded. So that's...
Is there money to be made?
not the worst outcome. Chainmail? Yeah, okay.
Over there.
More goods to get. Is that everything? There's more items in that little nook.
I always keep my options open.
This is a mesh vest. Plus 5% armor against ranged attacks. And I do believe that's a trap we can't disarm from this side. So let's just avoid it for now. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, also, guys, let me know if the thing about it is it's 12:06. Yeah, I just realized that I've gotten เรียกนะเดี๋ยวขอพิงเกิลหน่อยแล้วกันนะ Wait. Didn't realize
Everything
there's
good?
another. Yep. Yep. I'm just getting some food for myself. I just realized that we're in another battle.
Battle time is go.
Here we go.
Just a bunch of rebels.
On in, maggot.
Not in sight range.
Be careful not to cross my gaze.
Look at me. And who gets extra turnsies?
Hit M with the Grimace Shake Cloud. Or rather, the Jabili Stare.
Go jibbly jibbly. Nice.
Scared yet?
No, I'm good.
Out of my way.
Yeah, you have to move here. And do a stat boost. Let's go expose weakness.
Running binary override.
And go joint analysis.
Approved.
Feeling gloomy, Rebel?
won't compromise my
Target is too
principles.
close. Okay, if you're too close, I'm
Don't
gonna go
let your
here.
guard down.
Go Space Captain
I'll
face.
make it happen.
Do a
It's as
breakthrough.
good as done.
Flash. Yep.
My gut tells me it's a bad idea. I refuse. I won't stand for it. I am ready for whatever comes. I'll see to it
Whoop.
personally.
Slash. Slash.
Who, if not me? My gut tells me it's a bad idea.
You're still under the slash effect.
I'll make it happen. Another enemy down. On it.
Endure.
I refuse. I won't stand for it.
Hold on.
Let's get to it.
$42. Let's go run and gun.
The secret to the universe.
Yes. Secret to the universe and life as we know it, I think.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Okay, let's go pew pew.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay.
Let's get to it.
I know what is to come.
Let's go and boost your stats.
I'm not so
No
sure.
line of sight. Okay.
Let's make it quick.
Okay.
At your beck and call. I'm not interested.
Okay. This is rough because we don't have a good line of sight to our targets at all.
A tactically sound approach. I will do my duty.
Oh. We have this. Let's do endure. Show me what you've got. Let's do boosts.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
More boosts. Extra turnsies. Right, Argenta? I feel like you should try shooting this guy. Oh my goodness.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
All right. Extra
Power resides
turnsies.
in the will of the righteous.
Like extra turnsies feel super nice with Argenta. Bap.
Strike is a prayer. Faith without deeds.
Bap. Certainly we could have gotten extra turnsies with some of our other characters as well, but this is fine.
Let's get to it. Time
Ha!
to slaughter someone.
You shot at the... Hey, rude.
Activate calculate fury algorithm.
Analyze.
My vow is to serve.
Joint analysis.
Desire knows all, comprehends all.
Expose weakness.
Running binary override.
Who can I see? You, I guess?
Request denied. Request approved.
Damn it.
I'm here, maggot.
Okay. What's next for Biggie? Or Strong Bad?
Let's make some opportunities. It's as good as done. Who if not me? Your end was inevitable. I don't need luck. I have strategy. Here we go.
Come on, little rebel guys.
Scared yet?
Not really. Right, let's move Argenta over here.
Out my way.
I pressed the wrong button. Wait, what happened to Argenta?
They who discern the future own the battlefield.
She is Mark hunting to the battle.
Okay, so I'm going to
Will do.
use this on Abelard. Let's go analyze.
But of course,
Expose.
will do.
hopefully igniting this will cause damage to the closest enemy as well.
What an unfortunate turn of
Oh,
fate.
look at that. Look at that damage overflow.
Hold on.
Experience? Nothing matters more. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
Do I attack with a charge? Or do I just use one of my granadas? Doesn't reach. Okay.
It will be done.
High momentum.
All right, so I think I want to give extra turnsies to Biggie. So let's go with stat boost 1,
I'm a navigator, not a servitor.
stat boost 2, extra turnsies, and Biggie could charge.
I'll see to it personally.
Oh, okay. But we do have a heroic action now.
Accept
Let's
your
go.
lot.
Charge. 4 strong body.
George.
Another enemy down.
How much movement does Strong Bad have? Holy cannoli.
Don't let your guard down. This is intriguing.
I forger.
I'll make it out.
Oh, I missed.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet.
As the tactical imperative dictates.
Let's get to it.
The rebel's a little bit gloomy. Ah, Strong Bad gets to move again. Wow, redonkulous. Yeah, relatively broken.
On it. Who if not me?
Show me what you've got.
Hey, Rude.
Negligible.
Okay, Sister Argenta. Can you actually move up?
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
Oh, you have a run and gun that it could have used. Never mind.
There is movement in the Imperium.
Wow, wait. No, you can't see, so...
Not this squire's job. That is not my destiny.
Okay, Abelard. I do believe you have a move and a slice.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. At your beck and call.
And a charge.
I'd rather not. That's not the Seneschal's job.
Okay. I can't charge.
It will be done.
Yeah, let's go ahead and charge into the open, I guess.
Someone else can do this. I took
Nope.
care of this one.
So gonna opportunity with an attack of opportunity.
Step aside. The navigator.
The navigator is coming. Ha, that's what she said.
I'll do it.
Oh, we can't attack with her because the enemy's too close. I see. Guess we're forced to use this then.
Do not dare ask. Try to die with grace, at least. If only that were possible. That is foolishness.
Damn, yo. Okay.
Advancing. Running binary.
Analyze enemy. Expose weakness.
The Omniscient knows all, comprehends all.
Joy analysis. We'll zap you with one charge.
Spiritual prognosis favorable.
I missed. Yeah.
Let's get to it. Go like this.
I am ready for whatever comes.
That's what she said.
I'll make it happen.
Yeah, there's no point moving these characters.
Cover me.
Right, let's mark them as a sworn enemy.
I will do my duty.
Charge. Charge! That's a charge in the shield bash. Wait. Oh, wow. Okay. Right. With that, let's have a look at this. Let's go with a tech use. Examine the anti-aircraft battery. Gain XP. Demolition. $147 experience, yep. Item lost melter charge for a bunch of XP. Very good. Oh, okay. With all said and done, I do believe it is now time for us to say goodbye for the year. It is now time. Wait, just give me a second. Was the music on all this time? No. Okay. All right. Just want to thank everybody. First off, let's just thank Mana. Thanks for being
See
here.
you next year, LOL.
See you next year, yeah. But tomorrow we're off. The next day we're off. Those 2 days we're off, definitely. 30, because over here is the 31st and the 1st. And we might see each other on New Year's Day, maybe. I'll determine whether if that's going to be a thing. It'll be the 2nd here. And over here in Bangkok, yeah, on the 2nd will be the Friday. So hopefully we'll see if my wife decides to go anywhere, but most likely she's gonna have to stay and take care of me throughout the weekend. So on the 2nd, maybe I'll do something, but I'll talk to my wife first if she wants to do anything over the New Year's. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. And I'll set up streams. Definitely I'll return by the 2nd, but I might show up on the 1st. But yep, thank you, Mana, for being here throughout the year. And Paman-san, Silvala, whichever way you go by now, and everyone else who is a member, Apilux, Manta, Rafa Vega Chapa, Amish Slam, Chris Burton, and all the legacy members as well. Lord Yelanak and Ninja Nino when you were here. If our little friend
Imig 2 love, Imig 2 love, Imig 2 hype.
Yeah, and yeah, I've already shaved my head for the new year, so there's that. And if I actually went and did more details, I might scalp the or shape the my hairline a little bit as well. But currently it's looking all right. That's fine. But yeah, we'll see each other soon. No matter which day it's going to be. But I'm gonna celebrate the holidays and the new year. I'll see what's going to happen in 2026. But looking at the analytics, most of my viewership is from translated stuff, translation, old school RPG translations, and Tokimeki. The Tokimeki video was fine. It has quite a fair bit of views, but mostly we might get hopefully get the Unlimited Saga Tactical RPG video up, and hopefully that's going to be a thing. I might make it a more structured thing, right now. But yeah, it's me. I'm Big and I'll be back. See you guys next year. Bye for now.
Have a good day, Biggie and all.